Hello everybody, Sunday Adelaja here. I want to talk about Bill Gates and his wife Melinda today and the reaction of Africans to them. Please, my fellow Africans, please, for Christ's sake, please, stop castigating this couple. Please, stop believing all the fake news. Please, stop believing all the all the theories that are out there, conspiracy theories. Please use your mind, please. Now, I want to bring clarity to two things today. Number one, some people are accusing Melinda Gates of saying that there are going to be bodies all over the streets of Africa without knowing the context of what she had said. Then the second thing I want to bring clarity to is the vaccine theory, conspiracy theory, that Bill Gates wants to kill and destroy and reduce the population of Africans through vaccines. Please, guys, don't be in a hurry to stone me. Make sure you listen to my arguments first. And let's listen to what Bill Gates himself said, and let's listen to what Melinda Gates herself said. Africans have never been known as ungrateful people. As a matter of fact, we are the most grateful kind of people in the world, and we are people that don't have animosity against all other people. Other people can have animosity against us. Other people could have evil and malice against us, but we are people who have always been forgiven. So much evil has been done against our race, and we have always been forgiven. But this time, we shouldn't repay people who are doing good to us with evil. These are the, if there are people who are not Africans that love Africans in this world, these people will be number one. They are the most dedicated, most passionate lovers of Africa and Africans. And we cannot repay them with evil and with gossip and evil talk just because of the influence of some evil men in Africa that either they don't know what they're doing or they're just looking for influence. Such an evil man, I want to show you right now. What he has done that has brought bad news and bad image and evil talk against this couple is just horrible. Is unpardonable, because this is not what these people are. Who these people are is incomprehensible what he has done. But let's see the video that has led Africans to hating the Gates and calling them names and saying all kind of evil things about them. Let's see the video of who this African is that started this talk against Melinda especially. And let's see the truth behind
One thing that was brought to my attention, and I don't often do this type of video, but one thing that was brought to my attention, which...
The name of this guy is Fani-Kayode. I think Fani-Kayode is a Nigerian politician or ex-politician, maybe I think he's still a politician, that is going through, is under investigation, or actually is actually being prosecuted right now for corruption. And while he's going through his corruption case, he's always making sensational statements in Nigeria, things that are baseless. At first, he started by talking hate speech against the Igbos and, some of their respected women over there, and castigated them and said all kind of evil about them, just spoiled the name and reputation and even family names of some people. Later on, he jumped at the opposition, he jumped from one party to the other party to the other party. Now, all of a sudden, he went and divorced his wife, married an Igbo woman, became a defender, a so-called defender of Igbos. And at first, he was also a defender of the Yorubas. Then later on, we don't even know his position again about the Yorubas. So he's just doing anything that is going to give him platform and make him popular. his leader, his former boss, Olusegun Obasanjo, said that when it comes to Fani-Kayode, that just give him what to eat. When he's giving what to eat, he will say anything. You know, that's the kind of reputation this guy has. So if the Gates are ever going to see this video, I want to let you know that this man doesn't represent who we are as Africans. And it's saying the opinion of majority of Africans. Majority of Africans are grateful to you. Majority of Africans appreciate what you have done and what you are doing for our continent. And it is not our opinion. All these things that have been said against your family the last few days and the last few weeks, that is not the position of real Africans that are educated and that are well informed. Let's hear what this man has to say about Melinda Gates.
Which has caused me to say, look, I need to share just a very brief word with you is this. A lady by the name of Melinda Gates, the wife of Bill Gates, made a statement just yesterday saying that she sees dead bodies all over the streets of Africa. Now, I want to tell you this, that there's a spiritual principle involved here. When you say you see dead bodies all over the streets of Africa, you're actually projecting that, and it's a spiritual principle. When David met Goliath in the field, Goliath spoke about what he would do to David, that he would cut him up and feed his flesh to the birds. David responded by saying that, no, I will cut off your head with your own sword and I will defeat you. And then they went into physical battle. So for every physical battle, before you enter it, there's a spiritual pronouncement. That's why you have to pronounce things before you say or do anything, or before you go forward. Now, she has made her pronouncement. We know what she wants to do. We know what her husband is doing. We know what their plan is concerning their magic vaccine, which is actually designed to cull the population of the world. And I will say this to Melinda Gates and to Bill Gates. The Bible says, who is he that saith a thing, and it cometh to pass, when the Lord God of hosts has commanded it not? It is not in the streets of Africa that you will see dead bodies. We reject it, and we return it back to you and those that sent you. We are children of the living God. There is an invisible shield over our continent and over our nation, Nigeria. That shield is the shield that has been put forward by the watchers, by the generals in God's army, by the pastors, by the intercessors. And we shall continue to pray, and you shall not prevail. We shall overcome. It is
He's one of them. He's one of them. He's one of the Jews. He's been brainwashed. And he's just using anything. He's using religion. He's not living as a Christian, but he's still using religion to talk. And I will tell you that these people, the Gates, they are more Christian than even the GOs that talk less of you. Look at how people will manipulate other people's words. Okay, let me just not get emotional here. Before I go ahead, let me show you the things that Melinda Gates said. I'm going to quote her, and Google is your friend. Go to Google. Go and Google what Melinda Gates said about bodies in Africa. Let's see the citation. Let's see what she said. The words. Like, we're going to see her words. See what she said? She says, my heart is in Africa. When this corona, okay, can you remove it? Let me just give them a preliminary. So what happened was, Melinda Gates was talking when she heard about what the coronavirus is doing to Europe and what coronavirus is done in China. Then she began to talk and say, hey, I heard that China was able to control the corona by locking everybody in. And thanks to that, they were able to avoid the mass killing of their people. Europe has been able to do social distancing. But she said, I've been to African markets. I've been to different places in Africa, and I see that Africa is not as organized as those people. It's not easy to tell these people who need to get their daily bread every day, who need to go and fetch for what to eat on daily basis. It's not going to be easy to lock them everywhere. Please, let's stop this thing before it gets to Africa. If we don't do it, I see bodies all over Africa. If we allow this to go, she was weeping, she was crying, saying this, that nations of the world. She immediately put her hand in her pocket. She signed a check of millions to stop the spread of this thing in Africa, and said that even the way it is right now, I'm sure that maybe it's just because people don't have the test, they don't even have the ability to test, that if they could test, they might even have more cases. At this point, in Nigeria, they only had one case at that point when she said this thing, or a few cases, and one dead, and a few cases. But since she said that, it has been proven right, because now it has gone up in Nigeria and in other African countries. She's saying, please, let us do something. It was an appeal, an emotional appeal, that if we don't do this, I see bodies all over the streets of Africa. Please, let us prevent it. It is out of love. Now, let's go to our words. I just decided to say a few things that are not included in this citation, otherwise it was going to be too big. So what she said is, my heart is in Africa. I am worried. Is that the word of somebody who wants to come and cut the head of Africa? Is that the word of somebody who wants to come and destroy Africans? She said, I am worried. My heart is there. She is an American. She could have been worried more for America. Her heart could have been more in America. But she's saying, I am worried for Africa. And when I heard, first of all, I didn't see this as citation. I didn't see this as words. The first thing I saw was what this man said and what everybody was saying about them. And I said, I can't believe it. It's not true. When you know somebody, you know that some things that are credited to them cannot be true. It cannot be true that Melinda will say this about Africa. I say, I know her. I've followed her and her husband and what they have been saying and what they have done for Africa over the years. They cannot wish Africa evil. I said, okay, I'm going to look for a citation. I'm going to look for the exact word, for a quotation, for what she said. I'm going to look for her words, and I don't believe it that these people can do evil to Africa, because it's not just characteristic of them. Then I found what she said. Then I just saw how evil some people could be. So she's saying, my heart is in Africa. I am worried. The only reason why the reported cases of the coronavirus disease in Africa is low now, is most likely because there have not been wide testing of people, which proved to be true. In Nigeria, we are one of the least and lowest contracted cases in Africa, and in the world, actually, we are one of the lowest. But now we are over 400. She is correct. The more tests, the more we find out that there are people who are sick. Let's continue. The disease is going to bite hard. That's what she's saying. On the continent, I see dead bodies. You see, they only took this phrase, I see dead bodies in the streets of Africa. Let's continue. By helping nations in Africa and South Asia prepare now, we can spare lives. You see, she's talking about prevention. Let's help them now. Let's help Africa. Let's help nations of Asia too. That way, we will spare lives and furthermore moderate the worldwide flow of the infection. Ms. Gates said that's what she meant, to prevent the thing from spreading in Africa. This is not about a wish to see people all over. She's just saying if we don't do something, this is the danger that we stand to get. That she is wishing that this will never happen. That's what she meant. And these people turned that to be the opposite, and they started accusing her that she and her husband want to poison Africans, that they want to reduce the population of the world, and they want to kill Africans and things like that. Guys, have conscience now. Now, let's see the antecedents of Melinda Gates. Let's see some pictures of who she is and what she has been doing for our continent. I'm going to show some of the... Here is written, Bill Gates' wife fetches water in 20 liters bucket and places it on her head. That is the Melinda that you said. How many can the wife of, and she is going to fetch water for ordinary women in the village, people that are not related to her, people that she doesn't know. This is love. Can the wife of Fani-Kayode, can the wife of that man, Fani-Kayode, can the wife go and fetch water just in any village in Africa to people that she doesn't even know, she's not related to? How many wives of presidents or prime ministers or ministers will come to your village to come and sacrifice herself? She's not just giving money, they're giving money to help Africans, but she's even going there to fetch water and put it on her head, something she's never done. But even though we Africans have done this all our lives, when we become big, we stop doing such things. Our politicians, how many of our politicians can do this? How many of their wives can do this? And this is the person you are saying wants to kill us? Man, where is your conscience? I mean, just need to do a little research. You will see that these are the number one lovers of Africa. They are passionate. Let me tell you my own story. Can you remove the photo first? I will show you other pictures very soon, but remove this. Let me tell you my story. You know, the first time I met Bill Gates and Warren Buffett and Richard Branson, they were all in the same meeting. I was in the same meeting with Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, and Richard Branson. That day was the day I repented. That day I wept and I repented before God. I went back to my hotel and I begged God to forgive me. Because before then, I was seeing myself as this holy and righteous man. I was thinking that these people have this money and they are going to hell anyway. After meeting with them, I was repenting. I was saying, God, I don't know who is going to hell now. Maybe we are the ones going to hell. We who are the righteous holiness pastors. But we are living for ourselves. We are living for our families. We are living for our ego. We are living for ourselves. But when I met these three men, in one day, we were there for a week. We were there together in New York for a meeting for 1 week. And the whole week, you know what they were talking about? I was shocked. They were talking about how to help Africa, how to reduce diseases, how to remove malaria, how to remove polio, how to improve agriculture, how to remove poverty, how to help Africans, how to inspire them, and not just Africa, now all rich, all poor people all over the world. And they were that day, Bill Gates pledged 50 billion from our money, from his pocket. That day, Warren Buffett gave 30 billion. That day, Richard Branson gave 10 billion to help Africa and Africans stand up. And you are telling me that these people want to kill Africa? Let's go ahead and see the pictures, please. This is another picture here. Can you see the woman? An American woman who has never walked like this in the streets of Africa, dirty streets of Africa, with those buckets. They might not even know how these buckets work. She went and joined ordinary African women, and she started doing this. And she's not done this. She's done this not just once. There are other pictures of her going to Africa just to serve. Let's continue saying. This is the lady here. This Melinda Gates that they are all saying wants to litter Africa streets with dead bodies. This is not what she meant, guys. Let's continue. See her washing. You know the way we wash in Africa? Washing dirty clothes and things like that. She joined the women and started washing and cooking in the African village where there's no electricity, where there's nothing. And they are thinking of how to bring electricity to all of Africa. These people are dedicated, trying to bring electricity to all of Africa, trying to reduce poverty, try to reduce diseases, try to reduce malaria, polio, all kind of diseases, boost agriculture. I'm going to tell you, if you are interested, what are the other things they are doing in Africa. Maybe you are not familiar with what they're doing, but some of you, you are already benefiting from their work in Africa. Some of you are alive today because of what they have done in Africa. And yet, we are paying them back with this gossip and conspiracy theory. Okay, let's continue. See, they are sitting on the floor in African village like this, taking care of African children. This is apart from money. You know how much money they have spent on Africa in the last years? They have spent over $20 billion. You know $20 billion? That is like the whole amount of money that Dangote has. Do you know that it's because of this family that Dangote started doing charity? And all other Africans that are doing charity now, it is through the inspiration of Bill Gates? And now you people are saying nonsense about them? Let's continue. Look at them in African village, seated on the floor and making us feel that like we are human beings. Let's see a video. I want us to see a video where she was talking. She was interviewed while she was in Africa. And let's hear some of the things she was saying about her love for Africa and why she's doing this, why she's humbling herself to live like an African woman in the village.
Thanks so much, Melinda, for finding time to speak with us. So we're in Kibera right now, and we've just gone through the TEDx Kibera session. Why was this important for you? And what do you think is the potential that could come out of something like this?
Well, I think so often in the development community, we sit somewhere across an ocean and think about solutions for a place like Africa, and I think that doesn't make any sense. I think you have to be out in Africa, working with the Africans to come up with their own solutions that are sustainable. So when I'm in the developing world, I learn so much by being out in the communities about what works and what doesn't work. And I think today, by getting people to tell their stories, we come together as a community to say, what are the possibilities for moving things forward?
Right, and you talked about the importance of stories. And we're watched across the region. We have so many young people who feel like they don't have enough opportunities. It's a real struggle. What would you say to them?
I would say find your voice. I mean, that's what's the power of the media today and of the internet and of all these tools, is that it gives people a voice, not just finding your voice in your community, which is really important, but advocating to the government for what your needs are, advocating across Africa to say, this is the progress that's being made. I think so often in other places like Europe or the United States, we don't hear the positive stories, and yet there are amazing things going across the continent because of the youth and what's happening here.
Okay, so they have potential.
Absolutely, absolutely. In fact, wherever I go in Africa, I think that's the thing that strikes Bill and me the most, is the ingenuity of the people and how much everybody is working to lift themselves up, and the progress that's happening across the continent.
You're passionate about health. What is your vision for health in the world?
My vision is that every child grows up to live a healthy life. The world is not equal today, and that doesn't make any sense. There's no reason that a child living somewhere in the United States should have more of an opportunity than a child living in Bangladesh or living in Kibera. And a lot of it has to do with just making sure that the life-saving advances and the tools get disseminated in a place like Africa. A life-saving vaccine, there's no reason not to have it in a place like Nairobi or in a place like Ethiopia.
Okay, that's an amazing vision. A lot of people who are struggling will hear that and think, wow, it's possible. What's your final word? A lot of people will be asking, why do this at all? You and Bill, why do you do this?
Well, Bill and I really have this belief that all lives, all have equal value. And we feel like the situation that we're in our country really has a lot to do with luck. Yes, Bill worked very hard at Microsoft, but it has to do with luck. And if we can take the wealth that we have and show people where key investments can make a difference and get governments to come in with us, we can show what's possible so that all kids have the chance to grow up and live healthy and productive lives. And that's what we want to dedicate our lives to and our foundation to.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your trip in Kenya.
Great. Thanks, Julie. Yeah, great.
That interview was done at actually it's the biggest slump in Africa, in Kenya. She was sitting right there in the slump. Now, the second myth that I want to demystify about this couple is that they want to invent vaccine that will kill Africans. And there is a fake news that has gone over. Don't take the vaccines from the big Bill Gates and the wife. Don't take the vaccines. They want to kill you and all that. You know, hey, take it easy, guys. Take it easy. Look at this. Can you see this? You can see a little scar here. This is vaccine. If you look here, that is another vaccine. You too have vaccine in your body. If not for vaccine, you will not be alive today. Okay? If not for vaccine, you will not be alive today. If not for vaccine, you will not be alive today. Either you are African, or you are Asian, or you are European, or you are American. All of you have been vaccinated. And if not for vaccines, you will not be alive today. All of us are alive today because of vaccines. Let's stop these lies. Let's stop these lies. That Bill Gates wants to come and use vaccine to reduce the population of the world. Look, let me tell you something. If Bill Gates had been a pastor or a prophet, he could have claimed to be the most accurate prophet in all of the world. Because all your prophets and GOs and bishops couldn't prophesy this disease that is ravaging the world right now. But Bill Gates had the sense and the mind and the understanding and the foresight to see that a day like this was going to come and that the world needed to get ready for it so that there will be no devastation and no lockdown like we are seeing right now. But nobody listened to him. And now everybody is just praising him. But instead of us praising him, we are turning that on his head. That, he knew it was his plan. He had planned this before. This is now the world is working to follow his plan. Now everybody wants to, they want to lock, they are doing this. These are just conspiracy theories. That this is all because of the vaccine. They want to reduce the number of people in the world and kill millions of people. No, what he was saying when he talked about 10 million people is that if we don't get ready, if the countries of the world are not ready, we could lose up to 10 million people. It's because of the alarm that he has raised. That's why, thank God, that the social distancing and all those things were adopted immediately. He had said that. He has seen actually the solution. If not because he had seen those things, we wouldn't have known, the world wouldn't have known what to do. And the devastation would have gone up to 10 million dead people all over the world. Let's hear the video of what we were saying and judge for yourself. Now we are going to examine what Bill Gates, we have settled with Melinda Gates. Let's hear what Bill Gates himself said about vaccines. So he was caring for you and me.
The impact of a huge epidemic, like a flu epidemic, would be phenomenal because all the supply chains would break down. Today, the greatest risk of global catastrophe doesn't look like this. Instead, it looks like this. If anything kills over 10 million people in the next few decades, it's most likely to be a highly infectious virus rather than a war. We're not ready for the next epidemic. The impact of a huge epidemic, like a flu epidemic, would be phenomenal because all the supply chains would break down, there'd be a lot of panic, many of our systems would be overloaded, and so we all hope that doesn't come along. But being ready for epidemics of different sizes, there's a lot more we should do. The resources to go engage in the affected countries, the allocation decisions. As we've seen various flu scares come along, we haven't had a super good response. Using the flu vaccine doesn't really work that well in the equatorial regions because you don't get this lead time like we do in the northern hemisphere. But a universal flu vaccine, I think, would be brilliant because it would reduce pandemic risk. I also think the human health benefit would be larger, particularly in developing countries, than we'd expect.
This guy was just talking about preventions. He was only talking about prevention, how to prevent things that we are seeing right now. If the world had listened to him that time, things would have been better than we're seeing it right now. But thank God for his insight and foresight, the world is even able to cope with the thing. So let's see who is Bill Gates and Melinda Gates. Who are they? All right, so let's see what they have done for our continent, for Africa. Now, the story of Bill Gates and Africa started in 1993. Yes, 1993, when he took his first trip to Africa. And by that time, he was younger. He was the director, the head of Microsoft, and he was always talking that time, like he's talking now, about this virus, that we should prevent it, that please use technology, that technology and and technology in general could help resolve problems of the world, that we could change the world through technology. And that was his belief. But when he got to Africa and he saw all the devastating situation there, and he was just so perplexed by how bad things were in Africa. He had never been to Africa before, but when he got there, he was just so shocked that he felt insulted, angered, and ashamed that these people don't even have the elementary things of life. You are talking of technology. How can you use technology to solve their problem when they don't even have the elementary things of life? That is when the life of Bill Gates changed. The focus and the direction of his life changed. And he vowed to himself that from that time, he was going to work to see how to reduce the things that are killing people the most in Africa, which is hunger, infectious diseases, sicknesses, and things that could be easily prevented. And that is when he decided to leave and he and his wife to fund their foundation. They founded the foundation, and he said the most money that they have made in their lives, they are not going to keep to themselves. They are going to use this money to bring liberty, freedom to Africans and people all over the world. Since that was 1993. In the next year, he has started his foundation. He has started giving out. From 1994, a year after I came to Africa, this man has given out over $50 billion to our continent and other places where the money is needed. But for the question, is they are so passionate about health, about children that are dying, that children don't need to die right now with malaria, with all kinds of sicknesses. So for Africa alone, they have given 24-point-something billion to Africa to help resolve all these issues that our government doesn't even care about. They have been resolving issues of health, agriculture, medicine. They have been dedicated to, making sure that the village people and the children in the village get vaccine for polio, because thanks to that, polio is almost eradicated in Nigeria right now. And that is mainly credited to them. I mean, if you see the pictures of people walking and crawling on the floor like animals, it's just a disgrace. And thanks to them, that is almost a forgotten situation right now in Nigeria and in Africa. So they have given a lot of their money to measles, because measles used to be a big problem in Africa, killing people in Africa. And they have spent a lot of money to put, because vaccines for measles, and so most of us had those vaccines when we were young for measles. But but a lot of people in other villages don't have it. So now they have been able to bring that solution to Africa. Diphtheria is another thing that they have brought vaccine for in Africa. Polio is another thing they have brought vaccine for in Africa. And they have also put a lot of money to do research, to develop other vaccines, drugs, and to even do diagnostics of the problems that we have in Africa. So these are some of the things they have put their money into. More so, they have also helped women, to educate women about family planning, about family health, about nutrition, about material and neonatal and child health, about HIV. They have put a lot of money to prevent and to reduce the number of HIV in Africa, and even they have put a lot of money to reduce tuberculosis as well. So they have been working all this while for the past 20-something years to reduce the effect of all kinds of diseases that are killing people in Africa. They have given money to prevent diarrhea. They have given money to prevent malaria, pneumonia, and other diseases all over Africa. And they have also put money in technology, in investing in research, knowledge and science for Africans, creating critical platforms for technology in the areas that we will be able to resolve our own problems. They have done vaccine delivery for polio eradication in Nigeria, tuberculosis control, malaria control, HIV and AIDS reproductive health care. They have done a lot of work with health policy and administrative management with our government. They have promoted development of awareness among people, especially family planning. They have put a lot of money into agricultural research. They have put money into infectious diseases. They have just spent a whole lot of money in the past 25 years, and they are not relenting and they are not stopping. And now we are coming to say they want to kill us. I mean, let's stop it. Let's stop it. Let's repent and ask for forgiveness from God, even if we cannot ask for forgiveness from them. I think we should even ask for forgiveness from them and do a video like this, or write a letter, or write an article and ask for forgiveness, because we have believed fake news and lies. On behalf of my African brothers and sisters, I want to use this opportunity to ask for forgiveness from Bill Gates, Melinda Gates and their family and the foundation, that evil has been spoken against you without foundation, without reasons. And I'm very, very sorry, and I'm asking for forgiveness. Please don't hold this against us. Please, for the love of God, church, and nation. Peace. Thank you so much for watching our videos. Now, we need to spread this word, and we need to do it together. For that to happen, we need your help. Just 5 little steps that you could help us to spread the word. Number one thing we need you to do is to like the videos. Please go like this video right now. Number 2, if you have not yet subscribed to our channel, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Number 3, we need you to press and click on that notification bell. You see the bell? Go press on it. And number 4, we need you to go comment. Write your comment, good or bad, just write what you feel. Number 5, share on every platform. Share on Instagram, share on Facebook. Just share and spread the word. Thank you so much.